What's happening, y'all? Let me show you how I DIY installed and hung this bathroom mirror right above my vanity. This mirror comes with basic hardware, just a few screws and drywall anchors. For tools, you're going to need a tape measure, a pencil or pen, some drill bits, and a drill. A level is optional. I didn't actually end up using it, so you don't necessarily need one. First, we're going to take some measurements to plan the placement. This is a circular mirror with a 30-inch diameter from GLSLAND with a black metal frame. I'm using painter's tape on the wall to avoid making unnecessary marks. Placement-wise, I want to center this mirror both horizontally above the vanity and vertically between the vanity lights and vanity. First, I measured the width of the vanity, which is 37.5 inches. Dividing that by 2 gives me the horizontal center point. I'll mark that on the painter's tape. Next, I'll run a vertical line of tape through that mark to help visualize it along the wall. Now, for the vertical center. I'm measuring the height from the vanity top to the light fixture, which is 42 inches. That makes my center point 21 inches up. I'll mark that intersection, and that is exactly where the center of the mirror will sit. To double check the look, I'm measuring 15 inches, which is the mirror's radius, to the right, the left, above, and below the center point. For the tape on the left and right side, I mark with an arrow pointing to the edge of the tape where the mirror would end. This confirms the mirror is perfectly centered before I drill any holes. Now, we need to find where we need to drill holes for the screws that the hanging bracket will rest on. Since this product didn't include a measuring guide, I made my own using painter's tape. With the tape placed over the bracket, I mark where the holes are over the tape. I then temporarily eyeballed where the tape would go on the wall like so, but came back later on to measure from the top of the mirror down to the bracket holes, which is about 6.5 inches. So I'll move my drill guide painter's tape 6.5 inches down from my top mark. This is the most important step. Everything else was just to get us to this point. It's now time to make some holes. Grab a drill bit that is the same size as your drywall anchor. If the hole is too small, the anchor won't fit in. But if it's too large, it won't hold. I recommend starting with a smaller bit to prevent wall damage. Once you make that initial hole, use the actual drill bit size to make the hole larger. Once the holes are drilled, peel off the painter's tape, which is always the most satisfying DIY project feeling. Trust me. Something about the sound and the feeling of that tape coming off. Oof. Anyways, next, insert your drywall anchors in until they are flush. Then screw in your 2 screws. With the screws inserted, make sure they're sticking out about an inch or so that the mirror has plenty of room to catch. Then grab your mirror, align one side of the bracket first, then let the other side naturally fall into place. But don't force it. Once it feels secure, slowly let go and make sure it's sturdy. And that's all there is to it, folks. An easy DIY do-it-yourself project that brings new life and energy to your bathroom. Thanks so much for tuning in, and if you found this helpful, please go ahead and like the video and share it with others. And don't forget to check out my YouTube channel for more home DIY do-it-yourself renovations, maintenance, and repair projects that will save you a ton of money. I'll see you in the next one.